We all train hard, right? Well, some of us train harder than others. But are there other ways that we can get the best out of ourselves in training and on race day? I'm Rick, and today alongside Kate, that's the question we're going to be looking to answer.
Now, to be clear, all the things we're talking about are completely legal, at least at the time of filming, so you're not going to have to worry about sitting on Oprah Winfrey's couch giving out a confession like Lance Armstrong. So keep watching to find out the things that might help lift your running to the next level.
First up though, if you are new around here, don't forget to subscribe to the running channel and tap the bell icon so you get notified when we upload new videos all about running, which we do every week.
So this one will not come as a surprise. Since Eliud Kipchoge's incredible sub-2-hour marathon run, Nike Vaporflies have been all over the news. Now, recent rulings by World Athletics, the athletics governing body, have specified what can and can't be allowed. But for us mere mortals, there's absolutely no denying that the Vaporfly, the Next Percent and the new Alphafly are going to give a pretty significant boost to performance.
So much so that not only have multiple world records been set from distances ranging from 5K to the marathon, but all the other shoe manufacturers are now racing to keep up. The new breed of super shoes have a few things in common. A high stack, that's how thick the midsole is, and the use of a carbon plate for allegedly greater stiffness and energy return.
And the stats don't lie. Personal bests and world records are being broken across the board. So if you can afford them, and that is a big ask because they're about £250 now, and if you can get hold of a pair, then there is pretty compelling evidence that they will make you faster.
There's a raft of well-designed and rigorous scientific studies to show that caffeine is a very effective endurance performance enhancer, helping to boost performance by a few percent on average.
And if you want to try and add caffeine to your running arsenal, the research suggests that you should look to consume around 3 milligrams of caffeine per kilogram of body weight. But do be sensible. If you're not a regular coffee user or a consumer of caffeine, then remember it is a stimulant, so just be aware that the health impacts or the potential side effects. You should also definitely try it out on a normal training day, as caffeine can sometimes have unusual effects, like perhaps making you need the loo.
It is also worth knowing that some recent research has shown that it might be worth reducing your normal daily caffeine intake in the lead up to a race before taking caffeine on race day to maximize its impact. And whilst the research consistently shows performance boosts on average, more research has shown that the version of the, wait for it, CYP1A2 gene that you have will determine whether caffeine helps or hinders your performance. Your genetics matter.
Professor Kostas Karageorgis from Brunel University has studied the biohacking abilities of music on performance for 25 years and is a world-leading expert on the psychology of music and exercise. Now, his research has shown there's actually a 10 to 15% increase in endurance and a reduction in perceived effort when you're listening to the right song.
And here at the Running Channel, we actually took his recipe and created the world's ultimate running song. Check out our video for more on that one. Getting all the factors right, so tempo, rhythm, harmonies, dynamics, it can have a dramatic effect on the way that you perform and how it feels, helping you to disassociate from all that pain and discomfort.
Now, it is worth saying that there are fairly strict rules when it comes to running with headphones in races, so do make sure that you don't fall foul of those. Potentially, you could use a pair of bone-conducting headphones. But whatever you use, just make sure that you stay safe and always stay aware of your surroundings.
This might seem obvious, but for those of you without a coach, you'd be amazed by the impact that structure and accountability can have on your performance.
That's right, and a good coach, either online or at your club, can help build a program that's based around your needs and understand the way that your body reacts to certain types of training.
Being answerable to someone and having them make key decisions for you, particularly when they tell you not to run, can be very powerful. Of course, those decisions need to be made on the basis of honest feedback from you, and that comes from the trust and relationship that you build together.
And it's also likely that your coach will look after other athletes, so you might find that training in a group is a really good way to help with your motivation and to drive you to see improvements.
This might be an unexpected one for some of you, but beetroot juice, or beet juice for those of you across the pond, has been shown to boost endurance performance. It first appeared on the radar more than 10 years ago, and at that point was only actually available in large bottles.
Since then, scientists have identified that the key ingredient is nitrate, which is converted in the body to nitrite and then to nitric oxide, which, amongst other things, affects blood circulation. Thankfully, you can now buy shots of concentrated beetroot juice, although it is still an acquired taste.
The actual mechanism for boosting performance is still debated, but it's generally been shown that the effect is actually larger on non-elite runners, as elites or other well-trained athletes already produce high levels of nitric oxide. The recommendation is to try to drink 2 shots per day for 4 to 7 days before a race, taking them around 3 hours before the start on race day. Make sure you practice though, as it can affect your stomach, and don't be surprised if you have purple pee. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh gosh.
So elite endurance athletes often head to high altitude training camps as part of their preparation. Higher altitude means less oxygen, which stimulates your body to create more red blood cells, which allows your blood to carry more oxygen, and therefore it makes you more efficient when you come back down to sea level.
Altitude training is usually between around 1,600 meters and 3,000 meters, which limits the places around the world where you can actually do it. Popular locations then are I-10 in Kenya, Font Romeu in France, and Flagstaff, Arizona in the US. Although there are lots more. Check out our video all about training at altitude for lots more details on that.
And if you can't afford to jet off around the world for weeks at a time, because altitude training does require you to stay at that altitude for 3 to 4 weeks to really feel the benefits, then you can choose to sleep in an altitude tent in your own home. You can rent or buy the tent and the generator and set it up on or around your bed, and then aim to spend as much time in bed as you possibly can.
And a lot of professional athletes actually swear by altitude or altitude tents, but do bear in mind that people respond to altitude in different ways, and it requires a degree of trial and error to get it right.
So we all saw the incredible choreography of Eliud Kipchoge's pacemakers when he became the first person to run a marathon in under 2 hours. Now, Kipchoge was surrounded by the very best runners in the world, and they had a car projecting lasers onto the road with the pace and a strict formation, and I appreciate that most of us probably don't have access to that.
But a lot of us run with groups or friends, so why not enlist 1 or 2 of them to help you out when you're gunning for a PB? It helps performance in 2 ways. 1, it removes the mental workload of worrying about your pace. You simply have to keep up. Might be easier said than done, I know. And 2, there's a drafting benefit to shield you from the wind and other elements, making it that little bit easier for you.
Now, if you can't rope anyone in to help you, it is worth considering a decent GPS watch as an assistant. Work out your pace in advance and try to stick to it. So many of us come undone in races by not being disciplined enough. Do not try to bank time. It just does not work. Be as even as possible.
Now, the right mindset is key. So many people talk themselves out of running their best race before they even toe the start line.
That's true. So think about some basic mantras that you might want to repeat to yourself or write down the night before the race. And if you really want to explore every avenue, you could consider seeking out a sports psychologist who can work with you to overcome nerves and help deal with planning and executing the perfect race.
What's your mantra then?
Don't be
Mine is, you can have a drink at the end of this. As in a drink. As in you can have white wine. You can have a drink at the end of this. You can have a drink at the end of this. Compression clothing originated from socks or stockings designed to combat deep vein thrombosis in hospital patients. What started as a recovery strategy for runners has also been used by high-profile athletes like Paula Radcliffe during races themselves.
So while there is conflicting science about whether and how compression socks or leggings work, we wanted to include them because we know that a lot of people really swear by them, including some members of the Running Channel team.
So you can look to wear leggings or socks after hard training to support your recovery, which should ultimately help your race day performance. Or you could also consider wearing compression socks or calf sleeves in training and racing to help with blood flow and reduce muscle oscillation.
And believe. Amazingly, research has actually shown that the degree to which you believe that compression gear will help you to recover or to perform better actually impacts the effect that it has on your performance.
This is another recovery-based strategy, but as we've said, if you can recover better, then you can adapt to training more quickly and see more improvement. The jury's out from a science perspective as to whether ice baths or warm baths, for that matter, actually help you to recover. But
the key seems to be whether or not they make you feel better. If you adopt a recovery strategy, whether it's ice baths or massage or compression leggings, and they make you feel better, then that gives you the time and the mental space to relax and to focus on your recovery. And so there's definitely value in that, even if the physiological benefits are very much still unproven.
So this one requires some work on your part, but adding some gym work like core, free weight, circuits or using machines can directly impact your running performance.
That's right, improving your strength in certain movements can help you to avoid injury, but has also been shown to improve your running economy, which is one of the direct factors influencing your race performance.
Hopefully these tips can show you the many different ways you can supplement your training to gain that extra edge. So leave us a comment below with any questions you might have, or if you think we've missed something, and we'll see you next time here on the Running Channel.